At 23, she cured a disease that had plagued humanity for centuries. Then, she died. And a man stole her discovery and became famous. For 60 years, the world never knew her name. Honolulu, Hawaii. A young black woman walked into a chemistry lab at the University of Hawaii and began work on an impossible problem. For centuries, leprosy, now called Hansen's disease, had been a death sentence wrapped in isolation. Patients were banished to colonies, separated from families, left to deteriorate slowly. The only known treatment was chalmugra oil, extracted from tropical tree seeds. But there was a devastating problem. The oil was too thick. When injected, it caused painful lumps under the skin. When taken orally, it caused nausea and was barely absorbed. Patients suffered through the treatment almost as much as the disease. Doctors worldwide had tried for decades to make the oil work. All had failed. Then came Alice Ball. Born in Seattle in 1992, Alice showed brilliance early. She earned not one but two bachelor's degrees in pharmaceutical chemistry and pharmacy from the University of Washington, at a time when most universities wouldn't even admit black students, let alone black women. At 23, she earned her master's degree in chemistry from the University of Hawaii, becoming one of the first women and the first black woman to achieve this at the institution. Her research fascinated a local doctor, Harry Hallman, who was treating leprosy patients at Kalihi Hospital. He approached Alice with a challenge. Could she make chalmugra oil injectable? What Alice did next would save thousands of lives. She isolated the oil's active compounds, ethyl esters of the fatty acids, and developed a technique to make them water-soluble. For the first time in history, chalmugra oil could be safely and effectively injected into patients' bloodstreams. The results were extraordinary. Patients who'd lived in isolation for years began to heal. Symptoms improved. Some were even released from quarantine colonies and reunited with their families. Alice Ball had solved a puzzle that had stumped scientists for generations. She was 23 years old. But then, tragedy. In December 1916, just months after her breakthrough, Alice Ball died suddenly. She was only 24. The exact cause remains uncertain. Some believe chemical exposure in the lab. Others suggest complications from illness. What's certain is that she never published her findings. Her groundbreaking work existed only in lab notes and preliminary results. Then something unconscionable happened. Arthur Dean, the president of the University of Hawaii, took Alice's research and continued it. He refined the technique slightly and published it under his own name. The medical world celebrated the Dean method. For decades, it was used to treat leprosy patients across the Pacific, in the Philippines, throughout Asia and Africa. The technique saved thousands of lives and gave hope to countless families. Arthur Dean never mentioned Alice Ball's name. Not once. For 60 years, her contribution was erased. A young black woman chemist who'd achieved what no one else could, forgotten, buried, invisible. Until 1977, when a historian named Catherine Takara began researching early scientists in Hawaii. She uncovered Alice's thesis. She found the lab records. She pieced together the timeline. The truth emerged. The Dean method was actually the Ball method. Slowly, recognition came. Medical historians corrected the record. In 2000, the University of Hawaii officially honored Alice Ball, placing a plaque on the campus's lone chalmugra tree. The Lieutenant Governor of Hawaii declared February 29th, Leap Day.